About a month ago, Toyota had trademarked the iForce Max trademark, and it was kind of a foreshadowing to some of the news we're getting here. No mention of the V8s in it, and a lot of people were thinking that the iForce Max would be the twin-turbo V6 setup that we see from the LS500, or at least a modified version of it. I was thinking possibly a hybrid version of it as well. And over at the drive, which we're going to dive into here in a second, more ammunition is piling up against the Toyota and Lexus V8s. Their days seem to be numbered, and it's possibly the end of a legendary era for the V8 Toyota motor. Welcome back to the channel, Luxurious Fleet. If you're new here, my name's Kirk, and I just talk about Lexus and Toyota vehicles. So if that's right up your alley like it is for me, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let's get into it. Toyota poised to kill off its V8s, replace them with turbo V6s within just 3 years. We see Toyota and Lexus V8s in the Tundra, Sequoia, Land Cruiser here stateside. Also the Land Cruiser gets twin turbo diesel V8s elsewhere. And then of course you see the 5-liter V8 and the GSF, the LC500, the RCF, and they have a hybrid variant of that 5-liter V8 in the Toyota Century that was ported over from the LS600HL, which is no longer available. Toyota will be winding down the mass production of its ubiquitous UR Series V8 engines over the next 3 years and replacing it with a new GR Series turbo V6 power plant in most applications. The Drive's source said that they have personally seen a prototype for the 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 that's allegedly destined for the next generation Toyota Tundra, Sequoia, and Land Cruiser. Well, you really don't need too much of a prototype. They have a working variant of it in the LS500. They've had that since late 2017. Now, I would expect, of course, this twin-turbo V6 to have more torque, more power. The current twin-turbo V6 in the LS500 makes 416 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. I would expect this motor to get quite a substantial bump, maybe 5–10% increase of power and torque. Toyota's Huntsville, Alabama facility is just one of the 2 factories around the world that build Toyota V8s. The other one is a legendary Tahara plant in Japan. The Alabama plant is, or was rather, in the midst of machining enough parts to pre-build 30,000 extra V8 engines for the current Tundra Sequoia over the next year or so. Once those parts are ready, all V8 tooling will be replaced with a new setup to produce twin-turbo, I just added twin-turbo, but turbo V6s, and once the final V8s are finally built, or actually built, the assembly line will be converted as well. I've heard a lot of changes going on at plants throughout the United States, revamping, retooling for big changes. Twin turbo V6 is being a part of it, but I would also expect big changes for hybrid technology and potentially fully electric and maybe fuel cell, but that one's a little bit further off. Meanwhile, the Tahara plant will also pick up some of the slack building V8s to cover the downtime. Now, the Drive's source further claims that the V8 production in Japan will last only as long as it takes to get the new GR Series V6 lines up and running in Alabama, which is 2 to 3 years from now, at which point a similar changeover will take place in Tahara and the era of mass-produced Toyota V8s will be over. Now, do I think Toyota and Lexus are going to kill off all of their V8s? Absolutely not. Of course, you guys, if you're following my channel, have been hearing all the rumors and rumblings, and almost the engine's real because they are putting it in the racing version of the LCF or the LC500 racing variant at the Nürburgring race this year. And it is a twin-turbo V8, 4 liters. It is rumored to have well over 600 horsepower, and that is definitely going to be put in road-going Lexus sports cars. I don't see it happening in any stateside Toyotas either, but in terms of high-end performance, luxury Lexus vehicles, that is going to be, of course, a V8 that's coming from Lexus, but again, twin turbo. What about the legendary 2UR 5-liter V8 that we see, well, in the hybrid variant of the Toyota Century, and then of course you're stateside in the RCF, the LC500, and the now dead GSF, rest in peace homie, pour one out for you. I think that motor is gonna stick around for a while. And the reason is because it's phenomenal. I don't see them canceling that motor for the LC500. The amount of tuning they did for that motor in the vehicle in the LC500 is like heaven on earth. It's perfection. The GSF, yeah, produces just about the same horsepower, and the RCF does as well compared to the LC500's implementation with that motor. But guys, I don't see them canceling the 5-liter. I think it's too good of a motor. Expect it to be in Lexus vehicles over $90,000 at this point. We've heard for a little bit now that no V8s are going to exist within the Lexus lineup under $90,000. I mean, look at the LC, that's over $90,000. And maybe they cancel the RCF. We know that they're canceling the GSF. Now, I don't expect the RCF to go away, but maybe the 5-liter V8 in there does go away. And what would they put in there? Well, they'll put this twin turbo V6 in it. That's a no-brainer. Guys, I can't wait to see you in the comments below. I know a lot of you are disappointed because the Toyota V8s are arguably some of the best V8 motors ever built, and they are legendary. They run forever, especially the first wave of Toyota V8s, which I'm not going to cover in this. If you guys want to watch the top 5 Toyota V8 video that I made a long time ago, it's still relevant. But the 1UZ, the 2UZ, the 3UZ, that first generation of Toyota V8s are indestructible motors, and the UR motors are just about as good. I mean, they may not be quite as reliable. Let's say they get to 700,000 miles compared to the million plus in the 1UZ, but they do produce a lot more power as well. So holy cow, guys, V8s on the Toyota and Lexus lineups are diminishing, which not a surprise with the world, right? Everything's going to electrification, and yeah, it's just a matter of time, to be honest. I'm not that sad about it because I know that we're getting the twin turbo V8, and I have a strong feeling that the LC500's 2UR 5-liter V8 will still survive at least in the next 5 years or so. So I'm not too sad about it like I was in the GS discontinuation video that I made yesterday. But I'll see you guys down in the comments below. What are your feelings towards this and kind of the axing of the 5.7 liter and the 4.6 liter UR motors that are still being mass produced around the world. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace out.